am Arjun Frostvinor Fentes. I am a second-year theologian from St. John Vinay Theological Seminary, and I am here to discuss to you about the love of God. So, why am I discussing this to you? Kay gisugo ko ni Mr. Suralta to discuss first the concept of God, but I think the concept of God takes more years to really understand the concept of God, and to cram that 10 to 15 years in a 7-minute video is really impossible. So for me, I will just discuss or concentrate more on the love of God. Okay, let us start. Before I start my discussion, I base my reflection and my lesson points from the book of Eric Fromm, The Art of Loving. So, and also my class notes from the Sir Joseph F. Braham Bibal's class. So, yan. So, according to Eric Fromm, in order to understand the concept of God, we must understand first the analysis of character structure of the person who worships God. So, unang sa nato pagsabot ang tao na nagsimba, nagampo sa Ginoo kaysa ang Ginoo mismo. Okay? Hello children. So, before I discuss to you love of God, I think that we should learn first the meaning of love. So, love begins from loneliness. It is a natural tendency for us human beings to seek for peers, to feel that we belong to a certain group. So, it's very normal na mangita tag barkada, amigo, or even a special someone. It's natural. If love begins from loneliness, it is also love that cures loneliness. It is the deepest need of man to overcome boredom and aloneness and to free himself from the prison of separatedness. So love begins from loneliness, but it is also the cure for loneliness. Love, it has 3 meanings. Love is total, eternal, and sacred. Love is total because it requires undivided attention to the other. There must be no reservation, there must be no doubts when we love. Love should not be a half empty and half full, but it should be total. Next, love is eternal. It should not be given for a limited period of time. There is no expiry date for love. It implies immortality. Next, love is sacred. Every person is unique, valuable, irreplaceable beings. If we don't treat love as sacred, there's something in love which is so fine and beautiful dies. So love should be total, eternal, and sacred. So we discussed the meanings of love. Love is total, eternal, and sacred. So let us discuss then what love is not. So love does not seek new values from the person. Genuine love is loving the person for all he or she is. Okay? Next, love is not an occasion for the promotion of higher values. Love does not desire to change the beloved. It has no checklist or standard. Ang kinahanglan na ngani ka, you force someone to change so that someone can conform to your standard or can fulfill your checklist, but love is not like that. Okay? Lastly, love does not create higher values in the beloved. No? We don't need to create or to force someone to love us. No? Love should be total, eternal, and sacred. After we discuss the meanings of love and what love is not, there's a question or a concern. Can an ordinary person love totally, eternally, and with sacredness? In reality, we human beings have our own weaknesses, frailties, and limitations. And these things become a hindrance to genuinely love God and others. That's the reality. But do you know what type of love which is total, eternal, and sacred all the time? It is the love of God. The love of God is total and unconditional. It is not half empty or half full, but it is total. Next, God's love is eternal, because even the time of Moses and Abraham in the Old Testament, God loves us from the very beginning of time. And I'm pretty sure during this pandemic or after this pandemic, God's love will never change. God loves us eternally. Next, God's love is sacred because He created us uniquely, and we can use our own individuality and uniqueness to serve Him and to serve others. We can use our talents and skills as a way of helping others and to pave the way to God. So, God's love or love of God is total, eternal, and sacred. Let's imitate the love of God in loving others. We should love totally without reservations, to love eternally without the basis of time, to love the sacredness and uniqueness of all people. So, let's continue to love, even though that there are times that we do not love ourselves. Let's continue to love, even though that there are people who are very unlovable, or even ourselves are very unlovable. Let's continue to love in this time of pandemic. So, I am Jonard, or Arjun Fentes, saying we should love and love and do not stop of loving. Thank you.